I did chemistry at uni at Durham, and kind of from then I always knew that I wanted to be involved in the energy sector because it's something that through education I've always found quite interesting, and also how prominent it's going to be to my future and everyone else's future. So nuclear wise, I hadn't really considered it as such, but it just seemed like a great opportunity to look at both the cultural side and the scientific side of an industry. So it really just ended up ticking all the boxes. Definitely exceeding all expectations. Just the community of having a cohort from loads of different backgrounds all dotted around the nuclear industry forms such a support network, and us getting to do kind of training segments and getting to catch up with each other is brilliant for both personal and professional development. It feels like it really creates this network that I'm going to have for life, and it definitely does solidify the fact that people want to stay in this industry, and definitely with the training zones as well, they're so diverse and you can tell that they're really trying to round us off as individuals. Right now we're doing business planning and looking at enterprise for our SMEs. So just that, whereas I can also be doing something so technical in my day job, it definitely feels like this multidisciplinary approach is being followed throughout, and that's something that was definitely attractive to me when I was applying. I definitely have had the opportunity to speak to a wide range of people in many different positions. So being able to kind of adapt constantly kind of how I present myself. So we get loads of networking opportunities. It was my first opportunity to go to a conference, and having the opportunity to network with previous nuclear graduates, people, very prominent people in the industry, but then being able to carry that through into day jobs, getting to go and visit stakeholder groups was amazing. Getting the chance to go out on site, it's just so diverse. So it's something that I definitely had to take on very quickly, kind of how to change my mindset and change how I presented myself to different people. If I'm speaking to a member of the public one day and then I'm talking to a site director the next, it's so varied, and you definitely need to be on your feet when trying to kind of present yourself in that way. Having the opportunity to learn about and get engaged with regulation of a particular site. So I got given the opportunity in like my first week to go on a site visit, and from then due to an amazing lead regulator, I was kind of able to learn a lot about some different projects going on in the site, and I got repeat visits, and now I'm quite embedded in that site. So being able to really have input and being able to really feel that your views and your questions are valued, that's been really, really rewarding for me. One of the most challenging aspects is that I am the only nuclear graduate kind of at the Environment Agency down south. So there are some other people in the cohort where they've got a bit more of a community there. So I think that's definitely been a challenge, but it's also really pushed me to kind of make sure that I maintain relationships within the cohort in other ways. So making sure that I stayed in touch on social media, really capitalising on these training zones, and then also making sure that I was always liaising with other people, e.g. previous nuclear graduates. From a mentoring perspective, it's been really nice that the sponsor kind of puts you with a mentor, because every sponsor has a different individual perception of what a mentor can do for you. So it's a really good marriage between what the grad scheme wants out of mentorship, kind of pushing towards chartership, CPD opportunities, and then also it helps embed you further into your sponsoring organisation. So my mentor will also make sure that I'm getting out on site visits with other teams, because it's really big for me to get an appreciation for the wider community and the wider organisation. So I think it's definitely a really good way to do it. For the next 6 months, I'm really focused on further embedding myself into my sponsoring organisation. I am so dead set on coming back after the grad scheme, and doing this kind of secondment has only made me more excited. I'm definitely interested in visiting a breadth of different sites and kind of expanding my knowledge so that I can get a wider kind of appreciation for what I would be doing upon returning. Also, I'm really excited to be looking forward to my next secondment now that that's established. So I'm quite fortunate in that I've got some really good links set up based on my sponsor because they've been so supportive in getting me to that next secondment. So kind of definitely developing communications, sorting my work stream with them, whilst also having a look about how I can develop further within my sponsoring organisation. The skills and experiences that you get throughout the programme definitely pair well with what you're doing in your day job. So I'm personally on a technical stream, so in my day job I will be looking at more hard skills, technical skills, whereas I love the opportunity that I can be developing these soft skills, and especially moving forward with progression. Being introduced to things such as project management and enterprise at such an early stage in my career is really exciting because it's something I definitely want to look at in the future. And so having that kind of head start means that I'm more likely to be able to go on further development opportunities in the future and then hopefully get to manage my own projects going forward. It definitely gives you the best possible head start because otherwise you can get into the situation where if you don't have experience, you can't get more experience because there's a kind of prerequisite there. So it's definitely a massive boost so early in our career. For anyone considering applying to the programme, honestly, just do it. You won't regret it. Go in head first, kind of embed yourself in the industry. There's so much out there online about what good it's doing in so many different areas. Also, if you don't think it's necessarily for you because of your background, there is a place for absolutely everyone in nuclear, whether it's a technical-based role or whether it's a more soft skills-based role. They have everything, and also it's kind of doing something that's really looking towards everyone's future. So it's just such a rewarding experience, and it's definitely worthwhile.